When it comes to having a good quality defense, you really need 4 things in my opinion. Number 1 being a good half-court defense, having a good defensive team that can take on difficult matchups, versatile defenders, and not to mention good defensive communication. That's number 1. Number 2 then being a good full-court defense, actually being able to get back on defense and get your defense set up so your opponent can't take advantage of you. Then number 3 being good defensive rebounding ability. Obviously you can't stop your opponent if you can't get the rebound, and that's an overlooked part of it in my opinion. Then number 4 being good defensive playmaking ability, getting steals, deflections, takeaways, and preventing your opponent from scoring every time down the court, even apart from getting a stop and getting yourselves more opportunities offensively. So those are kind of the 4 pillars of defense and having a good defense in my opinion. And simply put, the Lakers were not good at any of them last season. Talking about defensive rating 17th in defense last season, not to mention 21st prior to Jared Vanderbilt coming back and prior to the trade deadline. Then number 2, they gave up way too many points in the open court, ranking 25th in fast break points given up to their opponent last season, giving up 17.1 of them per game. Then for defensive rebounding ability, ranking in the bottom 10 in defensive rebounds per game, also ranking in the bottom 10 in defensive rebound percentage, ranking 21st in the entire NBA. And then last but not least, not getting many steals per game, ranking in the bottom 9 with only 7.7 steals per game. So overall here, they didn't cause enough turnovers, were not a good disciplined defense in the half-court nor full-court setting, and they couldn't prevent their opponents from getting offensive rebounds and therefore get second chance points. So they pretty much did not do anything well or above average on defense, at least not consistently. Yes, they showed good moments and did obviously do enough to be a top 3 seed, but it didn't translate to a deep postseason run. It didn't translate to prolonged success on defense and something that was actually sustainable for their team. So they do have to make a change, and I think they did too. The only question being, did they do enough to make a change? And could it translate to them now being a good defense rather than a below average defense? I think it actually could, if a few things fall in the right way for them. Going back to the 4 pillars on defense I talked about here, again with full court defense, half court defense, defensive playmaking, and defensive rebounding, they did directly address every one of those. And well, beginning with the half court defense, adding a guy like Marcus Smart did a lot for that. To be a good half court defense, you need not only versatile defenders, but disciplined defenders that have shown the ability to be consistent on defense. Adding a guy like Marcus Smart did a lot for that. Adding another reliable big man like DeAndre Ayton, who although can be a bit inconsistent, has shown to be a plus defender, is an upgrade at the front court spot for them and at that last line of defense. I think that's an upgrade for them, therefore addressing both their backcourt and front court with a proven option that can do it when they're locked in. And even possible guys like Jake LaRavia, who could help, has shown good moments and could be a good versatile wing option for them. And all around, they've addressed their half-court defense, maintained guys like Jared Vanderbilt, who is entering the season healthy, Marcus Smart entering the season healthy, Luka Doncic even losing weight and looking more committed to defense during the Eurobasket competition. I think they did directly address their half-court defense, and that was actually probably the best part of their defense last season. So even making that a little bit better would be enough for them to go to well above average in my opinion. Then for the full court defense, again with many of the names I just mentioned and Marcus Smart being a big one of that, a guy that actually is committed to getting back on defense, organizing their defense, and directly yelling at teammates to get their ass back on defense and get set up. That's something that he will do, has shown to do, and has actually been a big part of teams doing well on defense and getting back on defense. He's a big part of that, and that should directly help them. So between their half court and their full court defense, I think there is plenty of reason to point to here with improvement and why it will improve for their team going forward. Then for their defensive rebounding ability, I think they actually did a lot to address this by signing DeAndre Ayton. Yes, he can be a bit inconsistent defensively, effort-wise, and actually doing it on a game-to-game basis, but something you never will be able to question him with is his rebounding ability and committing to doing that. The guy's never averaged below 10 rebounds per game in any year of his NBA career up until this point, including last season where he was top 10 in offensive rebounds per game, defensive rebounds per game, and total rebounds per game. I think that'll help them out, will help prevent second chance points to their opponent, DeAndre Ayton being in the middle and actually taking up a lot of space for them, not only defensively but then to actually grab the rebound and get their offense going. I think that'll do a lot for their defense and actually is a very underrated part of it and why it likely will improve as well. Even apart from that though, they still have Jackson Hayes behind him, isn't the best rebounder but is better as a backup compared to a starter. Having a healthy Jared Vanderbilt, who is one of, if not the best rebounding wing in the entire NBA. Having a guy like Jake LaRavia, who's a pretty good rebounding wing. Also having Luka Doncic, LeBron both healthy. They're both good rebounders when committed. All around having a bigger, more physical, and more rebounding centric team than they did in years prior, which is obviously a good thing and should help with that second chance points given up to their opponents. Then finally, for defensive playmaking ability, I talked about this in my prior video with the Dude Hero. Even having a guy like him will help their defensive playmaking if need be, but with the addition of a healthy Marcus Smart, having a healthy Jared Vanderbilt, even Jake LaRavia, between those three alone and per 36-minute average, that's over 5 steals per 36 per game. So pointing to that, then with a healthy and more in shape to enter the season Luka Doncic, a guy that averaged 1.6 steals per game in regular minutes last season, if he's actually healthy from the get-go and getting ready and active on defense to begin the season, maybe that could go up to around 2 per game. Combining that with Vanderbilt, Smart, Jake LaRavia, even a guy like Gabe Vincent, or maybe a Dude Hero if he gets playing time, that could be a lot more defensive playmaking for their team, potentially propelling them from a bottom 10 steals per game team and deflections team up to maybe a top 15 or maybe even top 10 kind of team. And well, putting that all together, I think there's plenty of reason to be optimistic with their defense. I think they address pretty much every major need on their defense: a better front court kind of rim protector, a better backcourt defender, more backcourt defense, and more versatile defense. I think they address pretty much every pillar that I talked about. Again, half-court defense, full-court defense, defensive playmaking, and defensive rebounding. They made a concerted effort to address each one of them and think at least enough to address it to where they can improve defensively by quite a bit. But I think that'll pretty much do it for this one. And if you enjoyed the video, then I would greatly appreciate it if you dropped a like, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and hit that notification bell to never miss out when I upload a video. But as always, thank you for watching and have a great day or night.